things I want to talk to you about before we get started.
Alright, the first thing, negative numbers under square roots. Negatives under roots. That's the first thing I want to talk about. Alright, for even roots. For negatives under even roots. Such as square root of negative 16. Because the root right here is what? Even though it's not there. Not the actual square root. What's this number right here even though it's not? Yes, 2. And let's say if we have like the fourth root of negative 16. Sid, you said this would be what when we take the square root?
4i.
Yes. And what about the fourth root of negative 16? Anybody know? 2i. We'll get to that in a minute, how to think of that real quick. But yes, it's 2i. So anytime you have negatives under an even root, it's going to be an imaginary number. Now let's look at negatives under odd roots. So like the cube root of negative 8. Is this going to be an imaginary number? What can you raise to the third power to get 8? 2. What can you raise to the third power to get negative 8? Negative 2. Let's look at it. Negative 2 times negative 2 times negative 2. Write that down. Let's multiply these first ones together. That's going to make what? 4 times negative 2? Yes. So the cube root of negative 8 is negative 2. It's not imaginary. Okay? So my point in this is we can take we can take odd roots of negative numbers but not even. Does everybody see why? Because when you raise something like a negative 2 to the third power, it can still be negative. But anything raised to an even power is going to be positive. Okay? Questions about that? How did you know it was what now?
It was a 4 and 3.
Oh, I just came up with these. I just made these up. Alright, and then one more thing I wanted to talk about is going from radical form to exponential. Exponential. Because we'll need to know how to do that. Because the way that, you remember when I asked, like, what's the fourth root of 16? Nobody could tell me except for Toby. I'm going to show you how to find that in your calculator quick and easy. Alright, so I'm going to write 3 radical expressions. Radical means square root. So, or a root. So I'm going to write the fourth root of, we'll just do 16. Actually, let's do 16 to the second power. And then I'm going to say the root of 8 squared. And then I'm going to do the fourth root of 128 to the third. And I'm just coming up with these, just out of the blue. These are all in radical form because of the square roots. I'm going to show you how to put it in exponential form. The only thing you have to remember is that the root goes on bottom. Like a tree, you know how a tree grows and the roots are on bottom? Same thing here. Roots are on bottom, power's on top. Okay? So the base stays the same, 16. But in exponential form is power over root. Again, because root goes on bottom like a tree. What power is 16 being raised to? Second. Good. What's the root? 4. Fourth root. Good. So this is the same thing as 16 raised to the what power? Yes. Type that in your calculator. 16 raised to the 1/2 power. What is it? I think you might have multiplied it. Try raising 2. It should be 4. Everybody get that? So if I were to ask you, okay, what's the fourth root of 16 squared? You can just tell me 4 by putting it in exponential form, type it in. This one, it would be 8 to the what? What's the power? What's the root? So it would be 8 to the what power? Yep, which is just, and if you look at this, 8 squared is what? 64. So square root of 64 is 8. Okay? Tell me how to write this one in exponential form. to the what power? Good. 3 over 4. Go ahead and type that in. It might be a decimal. Is it a decimal? Yeah. Don't worry about it. I just want you to know how to go from radical to exponential. Questions about that? Cool. Alright, the first ones we're going to do is pretty easy because it's going to divide evenly. Like you'll be able to take the square root, all of them are perfect squares. Like for example, this one, square root of 36x to the 10th would be plus or minus what? 6x to the 5th. Good. Because you divide the exponents by 2. This one will be negative. And don't let the parentheses fool you. Y plus 7 is one term, just like x to the 10th is one term. So we're just looking at the exponent. So this would be negative. I got that from here. What's my answer? Yes. You don't worry about the parentheses. Again, it's just one term, just like x is. You still divide 16 by 2. Questions? Oh, I have a question for you guys. Why wasn't this an I involved right here? Good. The negative's on the outside, so it's okay. Alright, flip it over. We are going to, we'll just go through this page quickly. But you see numbers 7 through 10. You can mark those out. All that is asking you to plug it in your calculator and round to 3 decimal places. You won't be tested on that. Hopefully, everybody knows how to do that, so I'm not going to test you on that. Alright, starting with number 1. Tell me what the answer is. Plus or minus? Good. Questions? Alright, Caleb, tell me this one. Number 2. That was 3, but that's okay. Y minus 6 to the 4th. Everybody agree? Alright, Evan, tell me 2.
It would be negative 7 u to the 4th, or whatever that is.
B, yes, to the 6th. Sorry, this printing quality is not very good. I don't know if the copier was like running out of ink, or I don't know. Sorry. Any questions about that one? Alright, Nicole, give me number 4.
Plus or minus 4g.
Oh, hold on one second. This is a 4 right here. I should have told you that. This is a 6 right here. Go ahead and fix that on your paper. This is a 4th root. This is a 6th root. Alright, so sorry, Nicole. I'll come back to you for just a second. 16 raised to the 1/4 power, again, because there's a 1 here, 4 here. So if you don't know what the 4th root of 16 is, just type in 16 raised to the 1/4 power in your calculator. Alright, go ahead, Nicole. Good. G to the what power? You got this. So think about 2 was right here, correct? So we divided the exponents by 2. This time, so it would be g to the what? And h to the? Good. That's the only difference between like different powers. You just divide it by that number. Yes? 2. Oh, this 16 right here, you have to find the 4th root of it. So in my calculator, what's the power of 16, Madison? Like the exponent beside it. Yes. So 1 over the root, which is 4. So you just type this in your calculator, 16 to the 1/4. Any other questions about that one? Alright, Sid, tell me what number 5 would be. Very good. The I was because we have an even of a negative number. Even root, negative number. Alright, looking at number 6, if I didn't know the 6th root of 64, and I don't expect you to know that by heart, what will I type in my calculator to find this? Yes, 64 raised to the 1 over 6. Go ahead and do that. What'd you get? 2. Alright, and what else would be my answer? cubed. Good, because 18 divided by 6 would be 3. Everybody good with these? Alright, flip. We're not going to spend a lot of time working on problems like 1 through 24. The reason why is because all of these, like, you can take the root of. You don't have to break up the exponents like we do in Math Workshop. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
So we're only going to do a few of these just to make sure we're on the right path. Then I'm going to have you write some problems that I'm going to make up over here where you have to break them up. Okay? So right now, go ahead and do 1 through 10 on your own. But before you start, this is a 3 right here. Go ahead and fix that. I'm sorry about the printing quality. That's a 3. Everything else you should be able to read, but if you can't, let me know and I'll tell you what it is. 1 through 10 on your own. No, I did not. Give her back just a moment. Alright, if you have a marker, you can go ahead. Those of you who are left sitting, if y'all want to compare your answers, you can go ahead and do that. come back there, see the answers. Okay? Alright, what we're going to do is go through them one by one. All y'all, I want y'all just to tell me yes or no. So yes if it's perfect, no if you see something that we need to fix. Okay? Number 1.
Yeah.
Number 2. Number 3. 4. Okay, so I'll circle that one. 5.
Yes.
You sure?
Yes.
Okay. 6.
Yes.
Yes.
Alright, 7. 8. Can y'all read mine back there? Don't we write bigger? Okay. Is this one good? Alright, 10. Alright, so we're just going to go over number 4 unless anybody else has a question about any of these, okay? So number 4, I'm going to write it bigger so everybody can see. 4, d squared, zoom out. Alright, 16, square root of that is 4, needs to be multiplied by a negative on the outside. C to the what power? D to the first. Very good. So don't forget, I think that what they did was divide this by 2, but constants you actually take the square root of. Exponents, that's what you divide by 2. Any questions on that? Okay, so these next problems are not on your paper, so you'll need to write them down. It's just 5 of them. After we finish those, we'll call it a day if we don't get to finish all of them, or if you don't, it'll be for homework. What now? Yes, you can write them wherever. On a separate sheet, on this sheet, whatever you want to do. But there they are, 11 through 15. This last one, just in case anybody asks, this is a 3 right here. Sorry, it looks kind of rank. It's a 3. Yeah, just write these down somewhere on your paper.